And here we go. Both women obviously wanting to keep their winning streak going to raise themselves up the card. This is a big moment for both of these women in their careers at this point. Reagan, who isn't accompanied by Magnum this time due to his match earlier tonight. Oh, as we go into chain wrestling, you know, when the ref's not in the way. You know, both women obviously coming off very impressive wins. It's hard to say which woman will come out on top in this match. You know, we've got Reagan Knight, a proud country girl who's made that very clear on Twitter that, you know, she's not exactly scared to tell people what she thinks. And then you've got Misaki Ryoki, who is, you know, very happy-go-lucky and just happy to be here. But when it comes down to being in that ring, she can be relatively brutal. As Misaki's very clearly not going easy on Reagan here, despite their positive Twitter interaction the other night. A springboard moonsault there. Misaki still taking the fight to Reagan Knight here. You have to think that surely at some point soon Reagan is going to get a bit of a flurry and get herself back into this match. And as I'm saying it, she slams Misaki down into the mat. But Misaki getting back into it now. Some kicks to the stomach and an elbow to the face. Going in for the pin now. Kick out before one. Looks like she was going to go for a suplex there, but Reagan into a backdrop. Misaki catching Reagan's foot there and grabbing her up into a falling power bomb. As Reagan now slipping between the legs of Misaki there. But Misaki countering, dropping her down to the mat with a backdrop. Or not backdrop, back slam, whatever it's called. I don't actually know what it's called. It's such a simple move, but I just never actually see what it's called ever. And an exploder suplex from Reagan. Out of nowhere to Misaki. As Reagan looks to put Misaki into the corner, but Misaki fighting her way out with some elbows into the stomach. As again, it looks like she's going for a suplex, but Reagan wriggling her way out of it. And a rake to the back. Into a suplex of her own. She goes to turn Misaki over. Slamming her face first into the mat. Misaki rolling out the way. Into a spinning elbow from Reagan Knight. But she rolls right back up. She goes to throw her into the ropes. Misaki countering. Dropping down below. And now leapfrogging. It looked like she was going for some kind of spin kick into the stomach, but Reagan managing to just dodge it with utilising the pace. And now into a suplex pin, one. And a kick out at one from Misaki. And now Reagan throwing Misaki into the corner. Looks like she was here to do the same. And Misaki countering and Reagan going under the ropes and coming right back up into a lovely clothesline. One. Two, and a kick out at two from Misaki. Now Reagan planting face first now into the pin on Misaki. One, two, and a kick out at two from Misaki. Bringing over a kick to the stomach of Misaki, and now to the back of the head. Now she's starting to show off a bit here. I mean, she is a confident girl. We did explain that at the beginning of the match. And now Misaki getting Reagan Knight up again, but once more she wriggles out of it. Reagan just seems to be able to predict whatever Misaki's doing. Goes for another kick, but just it does not hit. Everything that Misaki seems to be going for just does not seem to be going well for her. She now rolls Ryoki in now with an enziguri to the face, dropping the knees into the chest. Reagan rolls out of the way with a kick to the leg. Again, looks like she was going to try and drag her into the corner once more, but Misaki not allowing it to happen. Reagan rolls out of the way, and a Kinshasa into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Reagan Knight. Could that out of nowhere Kinshasa be something that changes Misaki's fortunes in this match? Drops her onto the knee. Looked like she was going to try and get her onto the ropes or like drop her face first onto the turnbuckle, but couldn't get there. Goes for that knee strike, but countered by Reagan Knight, who's now approaching Misaki in the corner. Misaki with an elbow. Lovely suplex now. Misaki starting to get fired up. Again, trying to get Reagan into the corner. Reagan with elbows of her own to stop it happening. Step up enziguri. Picking up Misaki now. And eat defeat. Will that be it for Misaki? Will Reagan pick up the win? 1, 2, and Misaki grabs the rope at the final second to keep herself in it. Will the grabbing of that rope save her chances in this match? Can she change the misfortunes into winning this match? A suplex from Reagan. Reagan now on the apron. And a springboard lariat to take her down. Surely this is it. 1, 2, 3. And Reagan Knight picks up the win against Misaki Ryoki. There were many times where it looked like Misaki was going to get back into that match, but it does seem like Reagan was just, for the most part, dominant in that match. As Reagan does continue her win streak. Turning it into 2 wins on the bounce now. It was this Kinshasa that made it look like there was hope for Misaki in this match, but Reagan kicking out. And then after that, it was just all Reagan Knight once more. An eat defeat, which genuinely looked like it was the very end of the match, but the very last second rope break from Misaki to keep herself in it. But there's not much she could have done about the springboard lariat. As she picks up her second win in MCW. And I'm sure she's definitely going to be one to brag about it on Twitter. I can't imagine that she'll be quiet about this one.